Welcome to the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo. Today is Thursday, November 14th. We are about halfway through the month of November, which makes us about halfway through Q4, a month and a half in. I know that for many of us, Q4 has been very, very disappointing this year. The reasons for that, I don't know. eBay did a bunch of stuff on the back end early Q4 that caused glitches. A lot of people's clothing items weren't showing up in the searches, the sizes weren't in the listings, and people just saw their sales actually drop in Q4 rather than go up. Our clothing sales are poop right now. They're in the trash. They're in the toilet. We're steadily selling remotes, plush, other hard goods. We're doing pretty good on Poshmark. When I put the effort in on Poshmark, I definitely see the payout. So I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the economy, because other platforms are selling pretty well and other streams of income are doing okay for a lot of folks. So I can't tell you what it is. I just can tell you that for most, like 99.9% of resellers that I know personally and talk to, and those in my Facebook group that I read comments from, and those of you that subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all those people are saying they're down. This Q4 is bad. People are down 40 and 50% from this time last year. That's terrible for Q4. We're actually selling less than we do in summer slowdown. That's awful. So that all coupled with the fact that I had yet again like a 3-day bout with a migraine that actually caused me to be nauseated and physically ill, and the addition of my back pain and my disability, I was just thinking, it's very easy for all of us, including me, to get discouraged and not to be able to stay motivated through many of these obstacles. Whether you're dealing with chronic pain, a disability, a chronic illness, the slowdown, the slow sales, all of this can just compile on you and make you just be so discouraged and want to give up, or not want to give 110%, or not put in as much effort as you should. And that's understandable, because like I said, even I feel discouraged sometimes. I struggle with the fact of how often I'm quote unquote down and out. I struggle with that a lot. Between the back pain and the issues with that and the disability and my migraines, and I've just been getting sick a lot more lately. I struggle too, you guys. I have days where I'm just like, why can't I just be a normal person? Why can't I just go through life without pain, without being sick, without having to stay in bed for days at a time, and just get up and be normal and do stuff? But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is I'm not normal. I'm not normal in any sense of the word, guys. But at the end of the day, I have chronic migraines. I have a disability. I have chronic back pain, and I get ill a lot. And that's just my reality. And that's why I like reselling so much, because it gives me a way to work around my limitations, a job that I can do, and I can contribute to our household. I can contribute to the money here. I can contribute to paying the bills. I can feel like I'm productive and I'm doing something worthwhile. So I do, at the end of the day, I love reselling. I love doing YouTube. I love all of the aspects of this job. There is no other job out there that would work around my limitations. There is no other job out there that would have fired me by now. I would be a liability. I would have to call off all the time and take too many breaks and not get enough work done if I had to work outside of the house. The beautiful part of reselling is I can work around my limitations and make my own schedule. So if I'm down for 2 days with a migraine, the next 2 days I can work even harder and make up for the work. And when I'm having like a streak of good days, weeks at a time, I can work as much as I can within my limitations. So I do love reselling, and I feel like even though I get discouraged sometimes and I don't feel motivated, I do a pretty good job at staying motivated and not being discouraged. I still feel discouraged sometimes. I still feel beaten down. I am a human being, and I am struggling with a lot of health issues. But in spite of that, I feel like I do a really good job of staying motivated and not being discouraged and keeping a positive mindset. And a lot of what I do on this channel is teaching and or tough love. You guys know that I love to give out tough love, and give you guys a reality dose sometimes. But I like to feel that sometimes I'm encouraging too, and I can share with you how I do what I do, and hopefully help you guys too. So with everything going on right now, with Q4 just being a big old bag of poop, and a lot of you I know struggle with your own demons as far as illness and chronic pain, I thought I'd come on today and talk a little bit about it and tell you guys 5 things that I do all the time that help to keep me motivated and help to keep me from being discouraged and keep me moving forward. So there's 5 tips here. Not one of these tips is about a bullet journal, although if I was to give you a bonus 6th tip at the end, it would definitely be get a bullet journal, get a notebook, get a piece of scratch paper every night and write a to-do list for the next day. However you want to do it, you want to keep a schedule in your phone. This is something I preach all the time, so I didn't put it on the list, but it is my bonus tip. If you keep a schedule, if you keep a routine, if you write down a to-do list every single night and you hold yourself accountable to it, you're going to be much more successful, period. You're going to be more likely to get up and treat this like a job and go to work every single day and do what you need to do. So that's the bonus tip. But we're going to touch upon 3 things that kind of fall in line with chronic pain, chronic illness, and then the last 2 are going to be about staying motivated when sales are slow. So the first thing is to learn to forgive yourself and be easy on yourself. We are probably hardest on ourselves than we are on anyone else, and we are probably harder on ourselves than anyone else is towards us. It's very, very easy to get angry with yourself, to get frustrated, to be discouraged because you have a day where you can't work because of whatever disability or chronic illness or pain you're dealing with. And I don't want people to feel that way. I have felt that way before, I'm not going to lie to you, but I try to bounce back from it as quickly as possible and just be really easy on myself and forgive myself, because it's not like I'm choosing to be having days where I can't work. I don't choose to loaf on the couch and watch TV all day and not work. I don't choose to lay around and be lazy. When I'm physically capable of working and I can do it, I do it. And when my body is telling me I'm not going to be able to work today, I have to listen to it, and I have to be easy on myself because it's not something I choose. No one chooses to be ill. No one chooses chronic pain. It's a really shitty way to live your life. And it's not fun. And because you don't choose that, you don't choose to be that way, you don't choose to have bad days, you don't choose to have days where your pain is higher than others, or where you're physically ill and cannot get out of bed, you cannot blame yourself for that. Now, if you're having days where you're playing video games all day, or Disney Plus just dropped and you're streaming stuff all day, or you're laying around being lazy, then yes, those days be angry at yourself and be a little hard on yourself and tell yourself you need to do better and work harder. But when it's related to your health or pain, it's not something you're doing on purpose, so just learn to forgive it and move on with it. So when you need to take a rest, when your body tells you it's enough, when you are physically too ill to get out of bed, take that day to rest yourself mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually, and just take the rest that you need so that you can feel better sooner. And when you feel better, get back to work and be productive. And you just gotta be, okay, it happened. I didn't choose it. And moving forward, I'm going to work, right? So that kind of ties into number 2. You need to rest when you need to, because if you don't, it's going to get worse. Does that make sense? So if you can kind of feel a day where your body's reaching its limitations and you know you need to rest, and you push yourself farther than you should, chances are you're going to end up with an entire day where you can't work. So if you get about halfway through a day and you're having a bad back day or a bad, say you have fibromyalgia, if you're having a bad day about halfway through the day and your body is telling you it's reached its limitations, take a rest. Even if it's only for 15 or 20 minutes, even if you just take a pain pill and take a little nap. Rest when your body is telling you to, because chances are if you listen to your body and you rest when you need to, you're going to have less resting times and less time down dealing with your pain and your illness. And that's not always the case. It's not always true. But I can say it is always the case if you don't listen to your body and stop when you should and push yourself too far or too much, you're going to have more downtime. So when your body says it's done, take a rest. Listen to it. I would rather lay down for 2 hours than have a whole day the next day, 8 hours, 10 hours, because I went too far. And then the third thing is to work hard on your good days, because you're going to need to make up for your bad days. And that is just the unfortunate reality of being disabled or living with any type of chronic illness or pain. So while you need to listen to your body and rest when it tells you to, when your body is doing good, when your brain is doing good, when you feel great, work extra. Do a little bit more. So if you're having a really good day, take pictures of 20 pairs of jeans versus 10, or 20 plushies instead of 10. Measure 10 shirts instead of 5. Like, when you're having a really good day, do more work than you normally would. That way, when you have your bad days, or you have to take half a day off to rest, or you have to not work for a little while you recoup, you've already put in extra work. So number one, it's not going to affect you as much on the bottom line. If you consistently list, photograph, and share and do all your work every day that you feel good, if you have to take half a day or a day or two here and there, that's not going to affect your bottom line or your profits or your business as much as if you only did half the work and then ended up with time off. And also with the extra photos, I always recommend that to anyone with any kind of chronic illness or pain. On days that you feel good, try to take double the amount of photos that you normally would if time allows for it. That way on days where you're kind of so-so, you can still list. So if I'm having a spout of 5 really awesome days in a row where I feel great and I can do, 20 items a day in photos instead of 10, and let's say at the end of that week I have a bad migraine, my back is really hurting me, I could still list from the bed laying on my heating pad, or I can be comfortable at my desk and continue to list on eBay and Poshmark without having to worry about taking photos, because I've done the extra photos when I felt good. So number 4, this is beating a dead horse, guys, but list. It is so easy to become discouraged when sales are slow and to just give up. But that's the exact time when you really don't want to. It's easy when things are going great. Your sales are up 100%. You're sending out packages every day. It's so easy when things are just moving along and you're selling a ton of stuff to be all motivated and woohoo, look at all the stuff selling. I'm going to list 20 items a day. And you want to do that. That's fantastic. You should be doing that every day anyway. But as soon as sales get slow, I notice this trend among folks to, oh, well, nothing's selling, so I'm not going to list anyway. Well, that's the number one way to make it even worse than it already is. Q4 is slow enough as it is. All of us are probably doing about half of what we should be as far as volume and overall profits. If you just stop listing altogether, that's going to get even worse. You got to keep listing. Even when things are bad, even when you're discouraged, you've got to keep listing. So how do you stay encouraged during slow sale times? How do you keep yourself listing? Try something new, because something new might sell while other things aren't. And the best example I can give you is our remotes. Our clothing is not doing well at all on eBay, but remotes and plush are selling. So if you're a clothing heavy seller, go out and look for different kinds of items, hard goods, holiday goods, plush, electronics. There's so many different ways to find inventory out there. your excuse can't be, well, I only have the bins around me, because you have a computer, you have the internet, you have the ability to find other inventory. So if sales are slow, try branching out and diversifying yourself. Number one, in what you're listing, but where you're listing. So try different platforms, try different types of items, but keep listing every day, and maybe stuff will start selling on Poshmark for you, or hard goods will start selling for you. You got to keep listing. You have to keep active even when things are already bad, because they're just going to get worse if you don't. If you cease all activity, if you give up, you absolutely are going to not sell anything at all. At least if you're trying and still listing every day and trying new things and branching out to different platforms, finding new streams of income and new kinds of inventory to list, you're going to make sales, period. And number 5, reach out to the community and make connections and network. This, I'm giving you this one for 2 reasons. Number 1, when you're discouraged and you're having a bad day and your sales are low, or you're struggling with your pain, or you're struggling with your illness, or you're struggling with taking it easy on yourself, and you're mad because you lost 2 days to your pain or illness, and you've got a good, solid, group of folks in the reselling community that you can talk to that understand you, you'll feel better, period. That goes for anything in life. Anytime you're struggling with anything, if you have a good community of people, a good network that you can reach out to, that understand you, that you can vent to, that you can talk to, that can help you brainstorm ways to make things better or get over a hump or something like that, you're going to feel better. So you want to absolutely reach out there and network. I tell you guys that all the time. This is a lonely business. Most of us work from home alone. Most of our families and friends don't understand what we do. They don't want to hear us talk about it. They don't care. They don't understand. So when you reach out to the community and you join these Facebook groups and you make friends on Instagram, you have a good, solid network of people, a net underneath of you, so to speak. So when you fall, they catch you. And it keeps you from being lonely. When you used to work outside of the house, you used to have people to talk to every day. We don't have that so much anymore. So just make sure that you're joining Facebook groups, you're making friends. And the second thing about that is when you're networking, you're getting ideas and you're learning from other people. So not only are you getting the support group that you need, but you're networking with folks who may have a connection for you to buy something different or out of your league, or something new, or find a wholesale buy, or teach you about an avenue you don't know about. For instance, let's say you're a used clothing seller and you reach out and you make a friend who happens to be in our Facebook group. Well, they might start teaching you about plush, and they might bring you into our Facebook group where you can learn a lot about plush and start selling something different or new. If you have disabilities or you deal with chronic illness and you reach out to the community, you might find yourself in our group, where a vast majority, a high percentage of my subscribers and followers and people in our Facebook group are either plush sellers, have some kind of chronic illness or disability, or both. And we're a very good support group. I absolutely recommend joining our Facebook group. Even if you don't sell plush, even if you're 100% healthy, it's still a really great group to be in. It's very positive. Everyone in there is very nice. If you're looking for a group of resellers to be a part of because you need a support group or you need friends in the community, you need to talk to people who understand what we do, the Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod on Facebook is a great group to be in. Link is down below in the description box. Come join us. We have a great time in there. But yeah, definitely reach out to the community. 1, to make friends in a support group, and 2, to network. Because I've made friends in the reselling community, because I've reached out, because I've networked, I've managed to get my hands on a lot of really great inventory, like the remotes and that box you guys may remember from July that had all the good clothing brands in it that I can't find here. And if you're watching this, we are actually extending the opportunities we get to us out to our viewers, along with Casey, the Rockstar Flipper. He's extending it to his viewers as well. We and Casey get lots of offers every day, or people inquiring about where to sell their wholesale items, or, you know, hey, I'm getting out of clothing, I want to get into electronics, where can I offload all my clothes? Where can I offload all my kids' clothes? Where can I offload all my video games? There's a vast majority of reasons why people would be selling off their inventory, not necessarily because they're quitting reselling or they failed. There's lots of reasons. But we can't buy everything that comes our way, and neither can Casey. We get hundreds and hundreds of messages a day from people who just have inventory they want to offload, and we cannot buy everything. We're still working on our 3,000 remotes that we bought. There's just no way that we could ever buy all the inventory that's offered to us and ever have time to list it without like a crew of 500 people. We just don't have the time or the manpower for that. So we've been talking about it for a couple of months and bringing it up on both channels, but we finally came up with a way to connect those who are contacting us with those who may want to purchase. So in the description box down below, you're going to see a link that you can click. It says join our wholesale list. It's free to join, 100% free to join the mailing list. It's going to take you to a landing page on Casey's webpage, rockstarflipper.com. When you get to that landing page, it's just like subscribing to anyone else's email list. You're just going to put your email in the little box and subscribe. You'll get a welcome email with some instructions, and then you'll have access to lots of inventory and wholesale inventory that we have people contact us that they have for sale, and we'll hook you guys up together. And that will help you with this number 5 option of networking. You can now like directly network with us and Casey and everyone that's contacting us, and that will tie in with number 4, because maybe you can get some kind of inventory that you don't normally get. You can try something new. You can branch out into a different category. If you're doing clothing and your sales are slow, and you've got the capital to do it, branch out into a different category, and this is one way to do it. Absolutely. It's also a good way for anybody who lives in colder climates or states like us. If you're going to get snowed in or icy roads, if it's going to get harder for you to get out and source, or if you have a disability and it makes it hard for you to source, this is a great way to get a ton of inventory all up front, right away, delivered right to your house. I mean, you don't even have to go anywhere. It comes to your house, and it's a lot of it. You're not going out searching from store to store, yard sale to yard sale, one piece at a time. You're just getting it all at once. So sign up for that. It's free. You're not obligated to buy. You can be on the list for free and just look through the lots of wholesale we have until such a day you find one you're interested in and would like to purchase, or just keep being a lurker and look. It's free to join. And join our Facebook group, guys. It's a really, really great community of resellers, I have to say, and not because I'm biased, but I have one of the best, if not the best, reselling groups on Facebook, because it's full of so many positive people. We don't have anyone making fun of newbies for their new questions. We don't have the bullies. We don't have the mean people. Everyone in there is super kind, super nice, super helpful, super ready to teach other people and to learn from others. So join us over there. We have a great time in there. And I'm going to recap before I let you guys go. So these are 5 things I do every single day, or keep in mind up here, 5 tips that I keep in mind to help myself stay encouraged and stay productive and not get discouraged when things are bad. Whether it's because sales are slow or I'm just having a bad time with my disability and my health and my chronic pain. So number one thing you need to do is learn to forgive yourself and be easy on yourself. If you lose time or you don't get enough work done due to an illness or pain, remember that it's not your fault. It's not something you chose. So be easy on yourself and forgive yourself. Number 2, rest when you need to. Listen to your body. It will tell you. Rest when you need to. It's better to rest for 2 hours or an hour today than have to rest for 8 or 10 tomorrow because you didn't listen. So take it easy on yourself. Rest when you need to. When you're having your good days, this is number 3, when you're having your good days or a streak of good health for weeks at a time or however long, it lasts, do the work. Put the work in. List every single day. Take extra photos on days that you're able to. So on days when your back feels bad or whatever's going on with you, you can just list and not have to worry about photos. So number 4, this one relates to when sales are slow. Just keep listing. Don't be discouraged and stop working altogether, because that is going to absolutely result in 0 sales. Keep listing, but try new things. Maybe try different kinds of inventory. Try different platforms, but keep listing. Go through your death piles. Get rid of those while you're at it, you know? Number 5, definitely reach out to the reselling community and network. It's going to keep you from getting lonely. It's going to give you friends to talk to. It's going to keep you from being discouraged. And it's going to enable you to find new opportunities in the reselling world. Alright guys, thanks for listening. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd be curious to hear what all of you guys think about this video. It's not my normal fare, the normal type of video I do. Like I said, I do try to give you guys tough love in the reality of reselling a lot, and I try to encourage folks who have disabilities like me. But this is kind of a different kind of video, so I'm just curious what you guys think. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, you'd like to subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can also support the channel by purchasing our sell-through percentage guide that Keith wrote with Casey the Rockstar Flipper. The link for that is down below as well. Or you can just support us simply by liking the video, subscribing, following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. And join our Facebook group. Until next time, guys, go be productive. Just keep going. I know times are tough right now, but I would encourage everyone to keep working through it. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.